You're now listening to the 11:30 podcast. Enjoy the show.
Nasty, hateful, insane nation that ever existed.
Yo, what do you do, everybody? It's your man Drake, aka Drake on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the 11:30 podcast. What's good, everybody doing out there, man? We made it back here. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30, it's 11:30. It's time for the podcast show, man. We're gonna get into it. But before we do, appreciate everyone tuning in and everyone who's joining me back here on the YouTube side. Appreciate it so much. If you're new to the show, if you're new to the podcast, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, like it, leave a comment, and share it. Do all that great stuff, and don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, man, another episode. We about to get into it. I got an amazing guest that's joining me this week here on the 11:30 podcast. You guys, she's an author, she's a publisher, she's an entrepreneur, she's the founder of Black Authors Rock. Dr. LaTracey is going to be joining me here on this week's episode, and we're going to be chatting with her, and we ain't going to waste no more time for real. We're going to bring on my awesome guest, Dr. LaTracey. How's everything?
Everything is amazing.
Hey, that sounds good. That sounds good. I like treating you.
You know, I am blessed. I cannot complain. Even if I wanted to, it wouldn't even matter. So, I'm here, and life is lifing, and math is always mathing. So, I just best of it, and I shine.
Okay. I dig it. Once again, appreciate you taking the invite here on to come here on the 11:30 podcast show. But for my listeners and viewers, since you're a new guest here on the show, I'm telling everyone about yourself.
I am who I am. Yes. I'm Dr. LaTracey, and as mentioned, I am the founder of Black Authors Rock. We are a full-service coaching, consulting, publishing firm, as well as bookstore. We offer everything from your beginning coaching for your writing, all the way through your promotional side, your marketing, your printing, all of those things. So we are the one-stop shop, and I'm honored because we may be low in numbers when it comes collectively, but we are truly the ones that we've been waiting for. And so I love what I do. I love serving my people. And, even those who come to support us as well that may not look like us. But I'm unapologetically who I am. And I love leaving my mark on the world.
Okay, cool. How did this journey begin for you, though, becoming the founder of Black Authors Rock?
They told me no.
Okay.
Being the oldest of my mother's children, I realized that no doesn't necessarily sit well with me. And so I realized that no means next opportunity. Growing up in a Black family, we were always taught what happens at home stays at home. And so I began writing at 13. And in the process of me writing, I couldn't always share those intimate details that I was writing about. And yet they were still relevant. And a lot of people look at me over the years and they're like, well, she has this title and that title, and she does this and she does that, but I'm still real. I am still who I am. Life still hits me like everybody else. And so I became exactly what I needed. I needed that support. I needed that tribe, that community. And so that was the beginning of shifting the first publishing company into what is now Black Authors Rock, and creating an online community of over 5,000 individuals that we can support and be that example to others while they are on this literary journey.
Okay, cool. I dig it. You said no mean next opportunity, and you was
Mhm.
told no a lot though. So you just had to create a path for you though. And also becoming the founder of Black Authors Rock, you did that because it's not too many support for authors out there, such as Black authors, as to be exact,
Right.
specific as well.
We are only accounted for, when I started, we were only at 5%. Now, 10 years later, we're only up to 7% in the entire literary genre of Black and Brown people. That's a low number. And yet, they're looking at us, they're mimicking us, but they're not supporting us. But then on the flip side, we don't even know how to support ourselves. So while I was on this journey, I just said, okay, well, a lot of the traditional publishing companies are not reaching out for us unless we already have the big name, we're already influencers, we have a lot of backing. But yet, all of our stories matter. We're not only creating history, we're writing it. And so, with us writing the history, our people need to know how to not only support one another, but to learn the system without costing them so much. So, I just happen to be the blueprint, the trailblazer uh, in this genre because people, they don't have to make the same mistakes I made. I paid the price for the costly mistakes, and so they don't have to. And with that, I teach people how to make multiple streams of income from their story, even before their book is even published. So I love what I do and I enjoy the process.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it. I love that you love what you do. You know, we need black authors and people just like you in the community. Though, you talked about how you sort of got into being an author and was basically from past situations and you just writing it down as a diary or other things like that. Did you always see yourself becoming an author, or other things just basically led you to becoming um a best-selling author or publisher?
It kind of laid in my lap. I started writing at 13 and didn't publish my first book until I was 38. Um,
Hmm.
and being within those years, I experienced so much. And experiencing life, I felt like I was by myself. We weren't always taught to go to therapists, um,
Mm.
go to church. And even at church, you still don't tell everybody your business.
Mhm.
I got that. But in the process, I learned how to publish my work, properly promote my work, and profit from my work. And so I took those skills and created opportunities for others. I believe that each one should reach one, and that I am the one that's going to be an example of teaching others to get out of that mindset of poverty, of provoking, nothing but trauma. Let's turn that trauma into triumph. Let's make sure that everybody knows we have all been through something and we can all overcome it.
Mhm. You're right. You're right. You just said you felt alone though. Can you speak on that? How did you feel alone, and what made you also feel alone?
Well, you can be alone in a room full of people if you aren't at peace with yourself. If you feel like you are worthy, if you do not feel like those that are around you, family and friends, will even support your position. Just like you having a podcast, if your family is not supportive, it's going to be chaotic. And so, as a writer, I realized I was writing, publishing books, and getting the support from people that don't look like me, and yet my own wasn't. My own
Mhm.
did not encourage me, nor did they even buy my books. Support comes in so many different ways, and because of that, I realized that I can't I can't be sad about the fact that I may be the only one in my family graduating from college, or the only one in my family that is promoting my book, or the only one in my family who is traveling. I just happened to be the blueprint. I just had to stop looking at the situation of what I did not have, or who wasn't around, or who wasn't supporting, and be that for myself. And so I created that for others. I was sitting on the side of my bed and I'm like, God, listen, these jokers are not supporting me. They're not purchasing my book and sharing my stuff on social media. And it was just given to me to create that environment. And so that's how we started Black Authors Rock, because I realized that if I go through this, then others also go through it. Um, you can't look at what other people are doing to define your own personal success. You have to encourage yourself, and and it's in every area of your life, because not everybody's going to share your broadcast. Not everybody is going to subscribe, but they're watching.
Mhm.
They're watching and they're paying attention. Um, this red hair is intentional. It started in the middle of the pandemic because I had a baby who was homeschooled and she needed some science. So I told her to teach, go out and find all the products and have them on Amazon to deliver, and you dye my hair. But I had, even in that, that was education.
Mhm.
Even in that, I was seen even when I felt like I wasn't. And so, with that, in this literary field, I realized that people see me even when they don't say they see me. Um, I may feel as if today is just a rough day, but it doesn't matter because everybody has rough days. Now, what you gonna do with it? Everybody has a day where they're not selling a product. Now, what are you gonna do to combat that? And so that's where we are, and I love it.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. You speaking facts when you say not everybody will definitely subscribe or support or listen or whatever the case, but they are definitely are watching though, and I experienced that myself. How did you handle that? Basically, first starting out as being an author, when you figured that your close friends or your family would naturally support you though, but it's obviously the other way when you get people from far ends of the other country or the world who support you and buy your stuff and subscribe to you. So, how did you handle that and dealt with that in becoming, author in the beginning?
I had to reset and release. I've written 46 books. Many of them I have purchased with my own money, packaged them up all nice, sent them to even my mother. When I looked in her china cabinet and saw all the envelopes that I had sent her with my books in it that had never been opened, I had to reset because read means to do over. If you continue to do the same thing expecting a different result, that's called insanity. So I stopped sending them to her. She may be proud, and yet, even if she picked up the book and didn't read it, go online, tell your friends. That's free. That's support. And I love my mama, but she can only give me what she knows. And that lesson started with her, my first teacher. So I had to look at that experience and make it transferable when it came down to everyone else. Even though I own Black Authors Rock, I have more people that don't look like me that support me than us. And this business was created for us and by us. I had to get over it. I really had to. The invoices, the cha-chings that you get with the cash apps, the nice little Stripe and PayPal and Zelle and Venmo, they all come,
Yeah.
and that money's green. That influence doesn't have a color. And so I stopped looking at what people weren't doing. And some days I still go back to that. But I had to not only create the opportunities for others, but I had to remind myself every day, not gonna follow me, but they're watching. So
Hmm.
to look at.
Okay. Give them something to look at. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. What challenge have you experienced though, in your field of being a black author and also trying to create opportunities for other black authors?
Well, prime example, when we relocated from Mississippi to Huntsville, Alabama, I have a 10-year-old author. She has a couple of books, successful business, the whole 9 yards. And I had a young lady who wanted her to have a book signing at her venue, which was great, an amazing opportunity. And she said, I want her books in my boutique, but I don't want Black Authors Rock to be seen. Well, sweet baby, that little author is an author of Black Authors Rock. You can't separate the two. And she's my youngest. You can't separate us. She's my mini me. So I had to explain to her, you can't have one without the other. We're a package deal. I'm not only her publisher, but I'm also her mother. You can't separate that any way, shape, or form. And so with that, I realized not everybody that makes sound good for you is really good to you. And I had to be okay with that. I had to be okay that some opportunities are not always good opportunities, and a good
Mm.
idea is not always a God idea. And so for me, I realized that Black Authors Rock does rub people the wrong way. I've had people ask, why am I on the front page of the newspaper? Why am I being um, connected to or partnered with other organizations that don't look like me? Because the name of my business is Black Authors Rock. I'm unapologetic. Uh, I've had people say, hey, you don't even sound black. Well, what is sounding black? What is that? Who who gave us a definition of what is black? Tell me. So and where are you? In the process, are you the founder of being black? So I look at that and I brush it off because I am who I am. You're gonna like it or you're gonna love it, and if you dislike it, be real about it and keep your comments to yourself. Uh, because many are not gonna even approach, and black is a noun and a verb. People don't understand we move, but we are also those individuals who are flat foot, ready to go. Uh, and I am that. And I love who I am. I love who I stand for. Even those who may not stand for it themselves. I'm going to still love on you. I'm going to still support you. Even this opportunity, I'm honored because you didn't know me from a can of paint.
Mm.
And yet you gave me that opportunity to come on live with you. That's something to be grateful for. Many people don't look at the opportunities that are afforded to them, and one day they will. And in the meantime, them hating, that's unpaid advertising.
Hey, you right. You right about that. I dig it. I dig it. But your mantra, in all of what you're doing right now, and what Black Authors rock is also to see others excel, though. And I love that because everybody is just sort of out for themselves, though, and not just trying to help everyone else come up together, though. But what keeps you going also, and what motivates you, though?
My babies. I, I have to be here for my babies. Whether life is life and uh, I have to show up. I have to give them the example. My middle daughter told me the other day, she said, I'm grateful that you can be the example that I need to see. Good, bad, or indifferent. We're not perfect. Kids do not come with any type of instructions. And yet, I would rather be the example for my babies than for the world to be the example.
Okay.
I
Okay.
want to see success and not be afraid of it.
All right. All right. I dig it. I dig it. I always ask that question. What expires? What expires my guess? Because there's always some things that just always bring us down, and you want to keep uplifted and stuff like that. You just mentioned success, and you're very successful, and you feel you were named as one the 2001 Successful Women to Know. You were nominated for Publisher and Author of the Year recipient proclamation. I'm trying to get that
Listen,
right. I'm trying to say it right. It's a bunch of stuff though.
oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm honored because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of those, um, accolades and titles came from when I was down. And I can say it smiling. If I look back over my life, you know how the church people say, and I think things over. I mean, I I really think back to the accolades and I think back to the example. I'm honored for every one of those nominations. The Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden, you know, my chaplaincy, the honorary doctorate. I mean, everything. Publisher of the Year, Author of the Year. I am grateful for all of those situations because I can show someone else that you can get it too. You can attain it too. Sick or well. I mean, I was sick for 2 years during the pandemic, and to be able to be awarded, even longer than that, but to be able to be awarded, they see what they want to see on social media.
Hmm.
I'm very transparent with my life because I need people to understand business is not always fun. no matter what you're doing in business. It's expensive, it's exhausting, and sometimes you have to go at it by yourself. And so I love the fact that I am not only an example for my children, but also an example for each and every business owner who wants to get out there and get going. Just keep going. I'm a resource and I'm available to assist.
Okay, okay. What's your big goal that you or want to get out there to the community or to the world about Black Authors Rock, or some advice for young Black authors who having a hard time trying to publish books or get things going in their direction.
Just start with one word. I don't care if you have to just sit down and do a brain dump to release everything that's in you. Start somewhere. I don't care if
Mm,
it's a 3 steps to X, Y, and Z, or 5 X, Y, and Z, whatever your expertise is. Just do it. Just write it. Just make it happen. Because you do not want to go out into this world and not be able to get your words out because someone needs it. They need your
mm,
story, they need your experience, and you can make money from it. We have a community online with over 5,000 individuals, a free community, Black Authors Rock community, to assist you right where you are. It's not a promoting group, it's a supporting group. So start there, get what you need, and throw out the bones and just keep it moving.
mm. Okay, okay. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it a lot, though. You also talk about Mississippi and Alabama. You have two bookstores there, right now. You have any latest books out that my listeners and viewers could get their hands on?
Yes, 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 yes. My 47th book will be out on March 8th. It is entitled Unstoppable Momentum. This is the year of you. And so, whether you are a woman, man, boy, or girl, this is the year for you to overcome and to be unstoppable. And so, that book will be out. Follow us on all social media because you will be able to pre order your book and to be able to support, whether that means just sharing the post. Unstoppable momentum is truly what we're living by in this season because life is happening to everybody in one way, shape, or form. And so when you know that there's nothing stopping you, no limit, you hear the sky's the limit. The sky isn't even a limit. So I'm looking forward to this book coming out and what life has to bring for each and every one of my readers.
Okay, I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, life is rough though, but we gotta take it one day at a time and just get through it. Or I always say, man, just gotta be grateful of the little things that we have, and the things that we can do, and just not worry about the stuff that we don't have, or the materialistic stuff like that. So, you know. I dig it. I dig it. I love what you're doing, though. But you guys know we're gonna keep the podcast rolling on, man. It's time for the 11:30 podcast. Hot seat. All right, Dr. LaTracey. It's time for the hot seat. I got 6 questions for you. We're gonna roll with it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you sound scared though.
I'm not. I'm ready.
All right, okay. What scares you about the future?
Not being able to control it.
Not being able to control it. Okay, okay. Cool. What's one thing you want to achieve in your life but struggle with?
Organization.
Organization.
Organization. I am a creator and I am all over the place. And that is difficult to compartmentalize. And so I'm grateful for my team because I can give them the big idea and they just break it down. Now I could do it for everybody else, but my stuff, baby, it's the organization.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. A whole lot of stuff going on. Okay. What is the most profound and also um, most eye-opening experience you have had?
Ooh, eye opening and provoking. The fact that I have been on this Abraham experience not once but twice. God moved me from Minnesota to Mississippi in 2010 and then moved me from Mississippi to Huntsville in 2022. The faith walk is not for the faint of heart, and I believe that that's the most profound, to be able to move cross country or cross state lines and not know where, not know who, and just do it, just sight unseen.
Okay. Yeah. There gotta be some, you gotta be ready for that though. I always want to travel though. How was Minnesota? I know it was cold up there, wasn't it?
It's cold, but it's a cultural experience. It truly.
Okay.
I love Minnesota. Was just there before all the snow hit again.
Okay. Okay. I hear all of the good things about it though. Okay. Celebrity crush.
Ooh, ooh. Uh, who would be my celebrity crush? Goodness. I would say Viola Davis.
Okay. Viola Davis. That was very interesting. I did not expect that. Okay. I dig it. I dig it. She's really good. She's really, really good at what she do. Okay. If you were the ruler of your own country, what would be the first law you would introduce?
That people show love through actions and not just words.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Okay. Last one. If you could turn one of your books into a movie, what would it be, and what would it be about?
It would be about faith. Faith is personal but never private. People don't understand the process that people go through behind these social media streets, and yet they need to see it as an example for them. They can overcome anything, and nothing is stopping them.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Look at Dr. LaTracey. You've been awesome. I appreciate you coming through here on the 1130 podcast. Talk about your new book that's coming out real soon. All the links will be down below for everyone who want to follow, and definitely get some merchandise because you got a dope collection out. Black Authors Rock that I see the website. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yes, yes, yes. That's cool. That's cool. Yes, all the links will be down below, you guys, for everything. For Dr. LaTracey. You have anything you want to say before you go? Any shout outs, any questions, any thing that's coming up that you want to talk about?
Join us, join us, join us in the Black Authors Rock community. We are relaunching the website. We are relaunching the bookstore. This is the season of unstoppable momentum, and you just got to join the wave wherever you are, whether you are just starting out or if you already have a book established. Don't let anything stop you. We all have things going on. Looks can be deceiving. So just join us, join the wave, and reach out. If you have a question, there's nothing stupid about it. Just go ahead and ask, get your resources, and go get your money.
You're right. You're right. Looks are deceiving, and you got to go get that money. I feel you. Once again, this was great. I appreciate you once again, Dr. LaTracey, for coming through here on the 1130 podcast. For everyone, man, sit tight. We're gonna finish up the show, man. When I come back, we got the WTF moment and more. Don't move. You're listening and you're watching to the 1130 podcast.
So if I look at my own family, and of course, a lot of our stuff come from slavery. So much stuff come from slavery. I'm still working myself through post-traumatic slave syndrome, the book. I always forget the lady name. But like she talks, and I listen to her lectures and stuff, and so much of her things make so much sense. Like we came out of slavery with trauma, right? And nobody said, do you need a therapist to talk to? We just had to deal with the trauma while still being oppressed, right? And still dealing with the trauma of that. And so we're learning as we come along now, okay, we shouldn't be beating our kids to death because it's not healthy and it's not helping, right? But where we get it from? Slavery. That's how they discipline us. So that's how we learn how to discipline our kids. Even now we deal with parents and ownership of their children. I brought you here, I'll take you out. You're my child, right? You are supposed to treat me a certain way. You're supposed to have respect for me. You owe me in a sense because I changed your diapers and I raised you, kind of thing. You were supposed to do that. When you have kids, you're supposed to change your diapers. You're supposed to feed them. right? But it's that ownership aspect. It's a master mentality, right? Because that comes from slavery. That comes from slavery, right? And so there's so many nuances and things that we are still carrying generationally, and how we're raising our kids and how we're taking care of each other and all that kind of stuff, where it's affecting our ability to function in our daily or build relationships that are healthy, and we all are jacked up in the head because of it, right? And stuff. And so in order for that to stop, in order for me not to carry it, I had to be a cycle breaker. I had to not do the stuff my mama did, that her mama did.
And my daddy did it. That's how I supposed
That's
to
how I'm gonna do it. Was it effective? Because my mama beat my ass all the time. Did you stop doing it? If discipline and physically helped, you would only have to do it once. You would be able to kick that child's behind, and they will never do it again. That's how it works when kids touch the stove, right? Oh, that stove hot, that stove hot, that stove hot. Do a child touch the stove again? No, because that's hot. Not doing that no more. It don't work with the same with physical discipline, though, And so otherwise they just figure out a way to get around it. You teach them to be more sneaky. You teach them how to get away with it. When we have functioning brains, like, humans are able to reason and think and contemplate, and you can sit down even with a 2-year-old and say, that's dangerous, that's hot, right? Or that's dangerous, don't do that again. Or natural consequences work every time. I promise you, every time. If you pay your light bill, if you don't pay your light bill and the lights get cut off and that make you uncomfortable, you more likely will bust your behind to get your light bill paid. And the only way it won't get paid is if you don't have it, right? And so that's a natural consequence. And so I raised my kids that way, with natural consequences. I did my best. Not that I haven't hit a kid, because I have, right? But natural consequences work best. And usually we're hitting the kid because we have no other resource or recourse in our head. I don't know what else to do but yell and scream and hit you. That's all I got. That's the only tools I have. But if I get some tools and I know how to talk to you, if I know how to educate you in a way, to teach you the things, and I have to be okay with allowing the natural consequence to occur. Because that's the other thing, is that we don't want to see our children hurting, or we don't want to see this happen to them or that happen to them. But sometimes it gotta happen. Sometimes we just gotta let them see it. Stop jumping in that bed, you're gonna fall and bust your head. Sometimes they gotta fall and bust their head. Then they're like, oh, I'm not jumping in the bed no more. That was fun, but it costs too much.
Yo, appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short break, man. It was a dope show, been a dope show. Shout out my guest who was on this week's episode, Dr. LaTracey, Black Authors Rock. All the links will be down below so you can get at her. Definitely check out her books. Check her out. Follow her on social media and everything, man. For real. So thank you once again, Dr. LaTracey, for coming here on the 1130 podcast show. But you guys, man, before the break, I said it, and we're going to keep the show rolling on, man, before we wrap it up here. It's been a interesting week, to say the least, man. But the weather is nice, though. But this past weekend, man, not even this past weekend, WrestleMania, man. WrestleMania was WrestleMania 39, night 1 and night 2, this past Saturday night and Sunday night. But yo, I'm gonna get into that in just a bit, and also more on this week's episode of Talk Pro Wrestling. Also, I want to shout out everyone, man, everyone across both social media channels and pages, the 1130 Podcast YouTube channel here, and everyone who tuned in to the 1130 Podcast Facebook channel. Over 1,000 views. for WrestleMania predictions on Saturday and Sunday. I thank everyone, man. Definitely want to thank everyone. But okay, you guys, man, it's time, you guys, for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. All right. It's time for the WTF moment, man. Yo, and I was just talking about wrestling. WTF moment is just sort of about wrestling, but big news, you guys, came out of the world of sports and entertainment this past Monday night over a hellacious weekend with WrestleMania and just everything. But the news that came out this past Monday that WWE has been sold. Yes, Vince McMahon, has came back on the board, and he has sold WWE to the parent company of UFC known as Endeavors. You guys, yes. I was like, man, what does this mean? I don't really know, man. Like, I don't know. Is this something like WCW? Is WWE going out of business? You know, I'm a big wrestling fan. I love WWE. I don't just like it. And excuse me, Triple H came out on Monday Night Raw and kind of like, said, man, we ain't going nowhere. It's going to be the same WWE. It's just that WWE and UFC are merging to create and form a new and now 21 billion company, man, a sports entertainment company. And I really want to know what this means, man. WTF, man.
I can't help but wonder, and I have to ask you, had the scandal not happened,
Right.
would we be sitting here today?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because it makes sense. You take nothing's ever happened like this before. And again, I'm always looking what's best for our stockholders, what's best for the company. This is the best thing that's happened in a long, long time. All of the WrestleManias combined have been 39, including tomorrow. Does it really equal to the magnitude of what we will do together?
Did that event push you towards this day faster than you thought you'd ever be here?
No, it didn't really, in and of itself, no. But it's great that we can combine all of this news together at the same time.
Is this a good day for
A good
Vince
day.
McMahon and
It's
the
a-
WWE,
it
or
is
is it
a great day.
Is
It's
it
one
a
of the
tough
greatest
day
days
as
of my
well?
life.
This company's been in your family for 70 years. Is it a tough day?
No, it's a great day. You know, things have to evolve. Family, business, it all has to evolve for all the right reasons. And this is the right business decision. Thus far, it's the right family decision.
I want to ask you about how you think about your legacy, given where you took this company, what's happened in the last year, the regrets you may have as a result of all that, and how you think your legacy will and your story will be told.
Well, let me just say that I've made mistakes, obviously, both personally and professionally through my 50-year career. I've owned up to every single one of them and then moved on. I'm not sure, the legacy stuff, I'm not going to write it. So I don't know. I want to say it's someone who had an extraordinary amount of fun, great passion for what they did, and wound up doing the biggest deal he's ever done in his life.
Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel, who also becomes CEO of the new company, made it clear during our exclusive interview that he wanted McMahon to stay. He called him a cable television pioneer and a visionary. And just one more important note, just to remind you, I am personally represented by WME. It's a unit of Endeavor, a talent agency that represents several CNBC anchors and on-air reporters, Carl, you included. I think this came down to a simple question. Is the WWE at this moment more valuable with Vince McMahon in it rather than out of the company? And I think Ari at this moment thought that he was more valuable in it.
That is some huge news, man. I've seen a lot of rumors. Some fans was like, "Oh man, it's all over now." But man, I'm open for the best, man, to see where it goes, see what happens. I just know, like I said, I keep saying it. This is massive news, though, and I talked about WrestleMania, you guys, man, and what a WrestleMania it was, man. A couple of things that I do want to say before I wrap it up on out of here, man, because this is the main show. Talk Pro Wrestling will come out this Friday, you guys, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I give all my review on this past week's in wrestling, man. AEW that's coming up tonight. Monday Night Raw that went down this past Monday. Just everything in wrestling, man. But also, you guys, Commission Talk, we live on Buzzing with Marlo today, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. Definitely, we're going to be talking about more WrestleMania reviews. And I mentioned Buzzing with Marlo. He going to have to eat his words today, man, because he was just vouching. A lot of people were vouching, man. It was like, yo, Cody Rhodes is definitely, he's going to take this. He's going to win. He's going to win against Roman Reigns. And I kept saying it like, man, no, he's not winning. He's not winning the WWE Championship. And what happened on Monday Night Raw, and obviously the news that came out of Monday Night Raw last night, yesterday, that Vince McMahon was heavily in charge of the show. And then I think that's the thing. That's the new thing now, right? If something goes wrong and something that I guess we wouldn't sort of used to maybe 5 months ago, 4 months ago on WWE TV, and now in the weird, we all blame it on Vince McMahon, right? But hey, but I mean, who else do you blame it on, man? For real. I mean, who else do you blame it on? Because when Triple H was running the show, man, certain things you could tell it was different from now to what it was Monday night, or some other nights, or just certain things that just take place on WWE. But man, like, you know, the Brock Lesnar Cody Rhodes beatdown that took place on Monday night. And I kept saying, yo, man, he's not gonna win the Rumble. Cody Rhodes need a little bit struggle to bounce back. And then you hear when Cody Rhodes came out on Monday Night Raw, man, the fans just went insane, man. Like when Roman did his stick and Cody came out there, I was like, okay, see, man, you that oh whoa, from last week's Monday Night Raw to this week's, it's way louder, way louder. Of course, WrestleMania was loud, but this week was way louder. And now that he beat up Cody Rhodes, and we don't know for what reason, maybe somebody just don't like Cody Rhodes. It was a big old fu to Cody from Brock. At the end of the show, that they tried not to show, but hey, it was right there. But I think with this beatdown, man, he's going to come back, stronger. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, like, oh yeah, like I'm down for that at Backlash, man, because he didn't get the victory. And Roman just walked out, and was like, oh well, that's Brock's problem. Like, and I was cool with the matchup. Brock haven't wrestled on Monday Night Raw in forever. And for you to end the show like that, I thought the match would have been cool, but then maybe do that after the match. I don't know, but um, yeah, a lot of people blame that on Vince McMahon. But yeah, Cody Rhodes did not win. We definitely gonna be talking more into that on Commission Talks, man. Shane McMahon, like, man, like that was a bunch of emotions going up and down, up and down. How Shane McMahon came out surprised and did a Vince McMahon back in 2005, where Vince McMahon where John Cena and Batista were in the Rumble, and both of them got eliminated at the same time, and this wasn't planned. This wasn't planned. Batista was supposed to, win, and Vince McMahon came out there in frustration, got in the ring, tore both his quads, and just had to sit there. But Shane McMahon, man, came out there jumping Shane McMahon, jumping Shane McMahon. I was like, man, he didn't really need to do it, and he didn't. I didn't see the point of Shane wrestling The Miz, or The Miz having the matches, at WrestleMania being the host. If he was the host, I was looking for more so, more Hollywood stuff, something else. But hey, that was that. But WrestleMania in itself was definitely awesome. I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm just bashing WrestleMania or bashing certain stuff, but them was the little things that really stood out to me. Man, I really can go on and on. I love the Gunter Drew match. Sheamus, I'm talking about, man, awesome, man. Shout out to the little girl who danced with Bianca Belair. Her mom had passed away on WrestleMania Saturday morning. So, man, for her to pull that together, man, and do that, and I know she's just a little one and she really don't, understand life fully yet. But man, just shout out to her because she stole it, man. When the girls, did the entrance, so that was awesome. Speaking of entrances, man, I thought Dominic entrance was one of the best entrances. Like, man, I feel like he should have won that, man. But Bad Bunny, Ah man, I like you, Bad Bunny. Booker T. Hey. But I mean, like Dominic Enters was just bad ass, man. So and like Triple H said on Monday Night Raw, the crew, everybody, man, who put up that stage was beautiful when it lit up at night. Oh my gosh, man. And I just feel like WrestleMania should not take place on the West Coast. I feel like it should take place somewhere between like Central Time, not on the Pacific, not on the West Coast. And you know, they've been to Dallas too much, and they made a statistic. It's been 39 WrestleManias. But the locations in the city have hosted it what, like 23, 25. It's in its 20. So I'm like, come on, bro, they going to the same freaking places. So they be in Philly next year, definitely trying to go. But man, that stage just lit up beautiful when it got dark, man. Just so much, man, that I could sit here and just ramble on about a WrestleMania. But yeah, WTF that UFC and WWE is merging, you know, because you know a lot of UFC guys don't respect the pro wrestlers. They don't respect what they do. They're like, oh man, it's fake, and you know what we do, we go out there and box. But like, come on, bro, come on, bud. Hey yo, man, WTF all the way. I need some water. I'm definitely excited. It's been a dope show, man. Yo, once again, shout out to Dr. LaTracey for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show, man. It was really dope having you. Thank everyone for tuning in. Like I said, over 1,000 views. For everyone who joined over the weekend for WrestleMania weekend and chopping it up. As everyone know, I'm a big wrestling fan. So you know I had to check my wrestling. I know a lot of people just don't get it. They just don't understand it. Or, you know, it's just something that it just was never into. But yeah, man, big wrestling fan. Thank everyone. I love to just talk about a bunch of stuff, man. Just be myself, man. And like I said, chatting with Dr. LaTracey earlier about black authors and just about mental health and being black, man, and just black communities itself was really awesome. Really awesome. All the links is down below. But before I head on out of here, you guys, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at the 11:30 podcast, you guys. Like the 11:30 podcast on Facebook, and definitely if you haven't done so this whole episode, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, man. For real, I don't know what you're waiting for. And follow me on TikTok at the 11:30 podcast, man. Everywhere, man, on all social media platforms. Man, this was a great one, man. I'm about to head on out of here. Until next time, you guys, man. Yo, I'm Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, man. Stay blessed, stay safe. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Until next time, I'm out.